So let me ask you something right out of the gate. If you had to live in one of these two countries for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? Seriously, think about it, because today's duel is going to completely surprise you. Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive straight into this because we are looking at an absolute epic collision course set for Group J of the 2026 World Cup. It's a clash of titans, guys. Algeria versus Argentina. And look, we aren't just talking about a 90-minute football match here. We are talking about two entirely different universes violently colliding on the world stage.
I really want you to keep this question in the back of your mind as we go through all of this. This debate is pretty much unsolvable, but by the end of this deep dive, you're going to have to make a choice. We are putting literally everything on the table today. The tactics, the food, the unbelievable national fervor, and the absolute wildest daily quirks of both of these nations.
So here is our official tale of the tape. We've got round 1, the pitch, round 2, the lifestyle, round 3, the fervor, and finally, round 4, the knockout. Let's get right into it. All right, round 1, the pitch, the 2026 World Cup Group J duel. You've got to look at the sheer tactical contrast here. It's wild. On one side, you've got Algeria, completely revitalized under Vladimir Petkovic. They are operating in this highly structured 4-2-3-1 system that's just built on a relentless, high-energy pressing scheme. They totally rely on intense physical output and a tenacious double pivot in the midfield just to shatter the opposition's rhythm. And then, on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, you have Argentina under Lionel Scaloni. This is a ruthless, highly disciplined championship machine. They fluidly shift between a 4-3-3 and a 4-4-2. They absolutely don't want chaos. They want total control. You've got players like McAllister and DePaul dictating the rhythm and holding possession to just meticulously dismantle you.
And this whole tactical difference really comes down to a clash of the captains. For Algeria, you have Riyad Mahrez. He's the modern face of Algerian football and the ultimate creative catalyst, right? He's known for this lethal ability to cut inside from the right wing and totally dictate the attack. And against him, Lionel Messi. Referred to as D10S, which is a genius play on the Spanish word for God and his iconic number 10, Messi is stepping into an unprecedented 6th World Cup, poised to earn his historic 200th international cap. The Argentine midfield literally does all the heavy lifting, specifically to give Messi the freedom to just drift into dangerous pockets of space. So it really is structural intensity, going head-to-head with engineered freedom.
Moving right along to round 2, the lifestyle, geography, and gastronomy. Let's just talk about the sheer scale of these countries for a second. Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world, and geographically it is incredibly vertical. You go all the way from the massive flat agricultural pampas straight down to the sub-Antarctic glaciers of Patagonia, all inside one country. But then contrast that with Algeria. Algeria is the absolute largest country on the entire African continent. And here is the kicker. 85% of it is the hyper-arid Sahara Desert. You are literally comparing an icy vertical agricultural powerhouse to a massive, ancient, sun-baked desert giant.
So, the really crucial point here is the bizarre culinary clock and their daily habits. Honestly, one of them totally crushes the other on this point, depending on what kind of eater you are. In Algeria, there is this absolute obsession with the baguette. Like, no meal is complete without one. Even if you are eating a giant plate of pasta, there's going to be a baguette on that table. Their ultimate street food is garantidat, which is this amazing chickpea flan slammed into a baguette with harissa and cumin. Meanwhile, over in Argentina, the biological clock is set to very late. If you try to eat dinner at 7 p.m., the restaurant staff is literally napping. It is perfectly normal to see a 5-year-old child eating a massive steak at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. And during the day, they basically survive on mate, a bitter herbal tea shared from the exact same metal straw by everyone in a circle, complete with incredibly strict social rules.
And hey, speaking of meat, we have to talk about the Argentine Asado. This isn't just a backyard barbecue. It is a sacred Sunday ritual. It can last for 6 hours, utilizing every single part of the cow. And there is one golden rule. At the very end of the meal, somebody must shout un aplauso para el asador, a round of applause for the grill master. The entire patio will erupt in clapping. And trust me, if you don't clap, you aren't getting invited back.
Okay, round 3, the fervor, passion that paralyzes.
Listen, in Argentina, football is not a sport. It's just not. It is the only thing that actually matters. There's literally a legally registered Church of Maradona, complete with its own version of the Our Father prayer. The entire country's mood, and honestly its economy, feel tied to the national team. When they won the 2022 World Cup, 5 million people took to the streets of Buenos Aires. They completely paralyzed the capital city. People were literally jumping off of bridges onto moving buses just to feel closer to the players. It's this beautiful, absolutely terrifying madness.
But honestly, Algeria totally crushes it on the celebration front too. When their team, Le Verts, wins, the entire country just stops. People celebrate by driving their cars on two wheels down the highway, and they arguably have the ultimate global tag. You will find their iconic chant, 1, 2, 3, Viva l'Algérie, spray-painted in the most random, bizarre places on Earth. We're talking everywhere from the Eiffel Tower to the Great Wall of China to deep inside the Amazon rainforest. It's like the ultimate national I was here signature.
And finally, round 4, the knockout. Economics and societal quirks.
Take a look at the massive economic contrast between these two. Algeria operates on what's called a rentier model. They are super heavily dependent on massive oil and gas reserves, which actually gives them almost zero external debt and allows the state to be the ultimate provider, like offering free healthcare and subsidized housing. Argentina? Total opposite. They are a volatile powerhouse. They're rich in diverse resources, everything from agriculture to lithium, but they are navigating this radical libertarian shock therapy to combat wild, triple-digit inflation. It's such a fascinating contrast, right? A cautious, stable, state-provided economy versus a politically explosive, free market experiment.
Now for the knockout punches, the cultural quirks. In Algeria, every single neighborhood has an FBI coffee shop. This is where men will sit facing the street for 6 hours straight, sipping on one single espresso. They are literally the ultimate neighborhood watch. Then in Argentina, you have Villa Freud. They have the highest number of psychologists per capita in the world. Discussing your deep childhood trauma with a total stranger at a bus stop? Totally normal small talk. Back in Algeria, you face this legendary bureaucracy where you might wait for hours just to be told Rasoul Makanch, meaning the system is down. In Argentina, inflation is so unpredictable that 24/7 kioscos will literally hand you hard candy instead of coins for your change. In Algeria, you get things done through marifa. It's entirely about who you know. And in Argentina, personal space is pretty much a myth. Everyone gets a single kiss on the cheek to say hello, which usually leads to foreigners awkwardly headbutting the locals.
And we absolutely cannot forget the linguistic chaos here. Algerian Darja is a masterpiece that totally defies logic. You can hear a sentence like "Zi de fesse la radio, rahu 4, which perfectly, seamlessly mixes an Arabic verb, a French verb, and a French adjective all the exact same time. Meanwhile, in Argentina, their Spanish basically sounds like Italian, and the word boludo acts as a comma, a grave insult, and a term of really deep endearment all at the same time.
Well, that brings us to the end of this epic clash. We've looked at the intense tactical setups, the 1 a.m. steaks versus the harissa-soaked baguettes, the paralyzing football fervor, and the absolute beautiful chaos of their daily quirks. So I'm passing the question right back to you. If you had to choose one of these vibrant, passionate, entirely unique universes to live in for the rest of your life, which one takes the crown? Let me know who wins this unsolvable debate down in the comments. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.